Vibe coding.
It sounds kind of ridiculous right out of the gate.
It really does. It sounds like something a teenager would say on TikTok. But the premise is actually radical. The idea is that we are done with syntax.
We are done with semicolons.
Exactly. If you have a vibe, a rough idea of what you want a piece of software to do, you just tell the computer in plain English, and it builds the app.
That is the promise. We are moving from learning to code to learning to describe. If you can articulate a problem, you can now build the solution.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Usually we look at the shiny sci-fi side of AI, the robots taking over the world, but today we are pivoting.
Yeah, today's about the boring stuff.
The unsexy stuff. The admin work that makes your eyes bleed at 4 p.m. on a Tuesday.
But see, that is where the actual revolution is hiding. We pulled together a stack of research on 8 specific tools. The mission of this deep dive isn't to wow you with specs.
Right.
It is to help you reclaim your time. If you deploy these correctly, we are talking about saving 20 hours a week.
20 hours. Beat. That is literally half a full-time job.
It is huge. And the goal isn't to fill those 20 hours with more spreadsheets. It is to move you from drowning in admin to actually having space to think.
We're going to walk through this toolkit right now. We'll cover coding, automation, visuals, video, meetings, dictation, research, and privacy.
Let's jump in.
Let's start with the philosophy behind our daily work. The source material opens with this concept of energy preservation.
Yeah, the cognitive load argument. Just think about your average day. How much of it is high-level strategy and how much is just moving bits around?
Copying a name from an email and pasting it into a database.
Right. Resizing an image, transcribing notes. The argument here is that every single time you switch context to do a menial task, you burn creative fuel.
It's death by 1,000 cuts.
Exactly. By 2 p.m, you aren't just physically tired, you are creatively bankrupt.
Yeah.
You have absolutely nothing left for big decisions.
So is the goal just speed?
No. It's about shifting energy from robot work to human work.
So shifting energy back to human strategy.
Precisely. You hand the robot work to an actual robot. Then you get back to decision-making. Or just talking to your kids without checking your phone.
I am completely sold on that philosophy. Let's look at the execution. We started with vibe coding. This centers around Google AI Studio.
Yep.
Now, I have used conversational AI to write code snippets before. How is this different?
Well, standard AI is just a chat interface. Google AI Studio is a prototyping environment. It is designed to build small, functional web apps. And the barrier to entry is effectively zero.
The source highlights a really specific case study here. A user building a site for Locksmith NY.
This perfectly illustrates the vibe concept. This user needed a pricing table.
Yeah.
Traditionally, you need HTML structure. You need CSS for styling.
And if you don't know CSS, you spend 3 hours figuring out why your layout is broken.
Exactly. But here, the user didn't write a single line of code. They just typed a prompt. They said, create a tool where I input a service name and it gives me a clean HTML pricing card.
And they added a specific business rule, too.
Right. They added, always set the emergency service price to $99.
That is the vibe. That is the logic.
And 10 seconds later, they have a working input field. They type lock repair, and a formatted card appears. They type emergency unlock, and it applies the $99 rule automatically.
It isn't just writing code. It is executing the logic of the business.
Yes. You aren't debugging syntax errors anymore. You are debugging your own logic. If you can explain the rules of your business, you can build the software to run it.
Does this make coding obsolete?
Not obsolete, but accessible. It turns logic into tools instantly.
Making logic the real tool, not the code.
Exactly. It democratizes the creation process.
Okay, so you built your little tool. Now it needs to talk to the rest of your life. That brings us to Zapier.
The digital duct tape of the internet.
I have a love-hate relationship with Zapier. When it works, it is absolute magic. When it breaks, I feel like I need a computer science degree to fix it.
You are definitely not alone there. Zapier connects app A to app B. Simple concept. But setting up those connections can get really fiddly. You deal with endless drop-down menus.
But the source mentions a big upgrade here, the new Smart Copilot.
This is part of the natural language wave. Zapier realized their interface was the bottleneck, so they added a layer where you just speak to it.
Give me an example of how that works.
Instead of clicking through menus to find Google Sheets and then finding the trigger, you just type it out. You say, connect Google Sheets to Slack. When I add a row, message the team channel.
It just understands the nuance. It knows which sheet and which channel.
It parses the sentence and maps the intent perfectly. It builds the bridge. You just review it and click turn on.
So the friction of setup is gone.
Exactly. You just tell the bridge what to connect, and it builds itself.
The bridge essentially builds itself now.
Right. It solves the return on investment problem. If it takes an hour to automate a 5-minute task, you won't do it. But if you just shout an instruction, suddenly everything gets automated.
Let's pivot to the creative side, visuals. We really need to talk about the alien text problem.
You know the exact look. You generate a beautiful image of a coffee shop. But the sign in the window is spelled with 3 F's and a weird hieroglyph.
It is the dead giveaway of AI art. It looks amazing until you try to read it.
It happens because older image models treat letters as shapes. They don't understand language, they just know what the shape of a letter looks like.
But the next tool in our stack claims to solve this. Nano Banana Pro. First of all, incredible name.
10 out of 10 for branding.
Yeah.
But the tech is serious. It uses a Gemini-based model. It has much better language understanding.
The case study here was a flyer for a shop called Corner Coffee.
Right. Imagine the prompt. Rustic style, wooden tables, green plants. But then the kicker. Text saying, grand opening this Saturday and 50% off all drinks.
6 months ago, you would take that into Photoshop. You'd scrub out the gibberish and type it yourself.
Which completely defeats the purpose of instant generation. This tool nails the spelling. It generates the rustic scene, and the text is perfectly integrated into the lighting.
And it features conversational editing.
This is my favorite part. Let's say the background is too blue. You don't start over and re-roll the dice. You just type, change the background from blue to dark red.
It just updates it.
Yeah, it keeps the composition, keeps the perfect text, and just adjusts the color. Why is the text aspect such a big deal?
It turns a pretty picture into a usable business asset immediately.
Instant business assets straight from an image.
Exactly. You can react to the market instantly without opening heavy design software. Beat. Speaking of heavy software, let's talk about video. This one honestly stressed me out a little bit, Higgsfield.
Stressed you out, why?
Because I remember how hard video used to be. You needed render farms, you needed deep software knowledge. Higgsfield just feels like cheating.
It is definitely cheating in the best possible way. It solves tab fatigue.
Explain tab fatigue for us.
Right now, the AI video workflow is a mess. You use one app for the image, another app to make it move, a third app for the voice, a fourth app for lip syncing.
You have 5 tabs open and your browser is crashing. You are constantly downloading massive files.
Exactly. Higgsfield is the all-in-one studio. The workflow they demonstrated for the AI Fire Academy ad was fascinating.
Walk us through that workflow.
They started with a static photo of desk, just a basic image. Then inside the same window, they used a model to add a slow camera zoom. Then they overlay a character, and here's the magic. They type the script, and the character speaks it with perfect lip syncing. All in the exact same timeline.
Wow. Pete, imagine doing all that without crashing your computer.
It really is wild. No exporting, no file transfers.
Is this the end of heavy editing software?
For quick social assets, absolutely. It's a production studio in a browser.
A full studio right inside your browser tab.
Exactly. Democratizes video for small business owners.
Yeah.
You just need a script. Mid-roll sponsor read provided separately.
Let's move from the production studio to the boardroom. We have all been there. You jump on a client call, and 3 different note-taker bots join with you.
The fake robot audience. It's so incredibly awkward.
It changes the whole dynamic. You see those bots in the corner, and you suddenly feel like you are giving a deposition. You clam up.
It signals that everything is on the record. It totally kills the casual rapport. But Granola takes a different approach. The stealth approach.
So it operates like a spy.
Sort of. A benevolent spy. It doesn't join the call as a fake participant. It sits locally on your desktop. It just listens to the speaker audio. The client never even sees it.
But isn't a raw transcript still just too much data? I do not want to read a 45-minute transcript.
100%. Raw transcripts are basically useless. Granola is highly interactive. Imagine you are in a design meeting. The client casually says, I really want a dark blue background for the header.
Okay, so they drop a key detail.
You don't stop the flow of conversation. You just type a tiny note in Granola. Dark blue header. That's it.
And then what happens?
After the call, the app looks at your tiny note. It finds the timestamp in the audio, listens to the context, and expands it. It turns it into a polished, professional bullet point.
That is incredibly smart. It combines human intent with perfect machine memory.
Does this change how we listen?
Yes. You stop typing and start actually looking at the client.
Eye contact replaces frantic typing.
Exactly. Being present usually means not looking at a screen. But sometimes we do have to create content. And I have a vulnerable admission to make here.
Go for it. Safe space.
I still wrestle with prompt drift myself. And honestly, I am a terrible rambler when I dictate.
You mean dictating text into a machine?
Yes. If I try to use standard voice to text, it is a total disaster. I say, I change my mind mid-sentence. The output looks like the ramblings of a madman.
But that is how most humans actually speak. We think as we talk. Standard transcription is just too literal. It captures all the mess.
So Wispr Flow is the solution here.
Wispr Flow is super interesting because it doesn't just transcribe. It cleans up. It uses AI to understand your actual intent.
Give me the before and after on that.
If you say, I think we should, actually, no. Let's go with the green option. Wait, yeah, the green one.
That is a classic sentence for me.
Wispr Flow just types, let's go with the green option.
It just deletes the hesitation entirely.
It deletes the ums and the false starts. It formats it into clear prose. And the killer use case here isn't just emails. It is speaking to other AI models.
Like giving them better detail.
Exactly. Typing a complex prompt can be exhausting. With Wispr, you just ramble your instructions for 2 minutes. It structures it perfectly so you can paste it right in.
Is typing becoming the slow option?
For getting complex thoughts out quickly, voice is finally winning.
Voice finally beats the keyboard for speed.
Provided you don't have to edit it afterward, yes. Wispr solves the editing problem.
We are moving toward a world where the keyboard is optional. Beat. But let's talk about accuracy. Because the biggest fear with all this AI stuff is hallucinations.
When the AI confidently makes up fake facts.
Right. You ask for a fact, and the AI invents a court case that never happened. Google's NotebookLM is trying to fix this by changing the source entirely.
NotebookLM is fascinating. It changes the boundary of the AI's brain. ChatGPT looks at the entire internet, which is full of garbage. NotebookLM only looks at your specific documents.
It operates in a walled garden.
A walled garden of your own verified data. The example given in the source is studying quantum physics.
Definitely not something you want the AI to improvise on.
Right, so the user uploads a stack of dense PDF research papers. Then they ask NotebookLM to create a study guide. They say, create 20 questions to test my knowledge on quantum entanglement.
And it generates the quiz based only on those specific PDFs.
Yes. And here's the kicker for serious work. Every single answer includes a citation. It shows you exactly which page of which PDF the info came from. So it's a tutor, not a search engine.
Right. A genius tutor that has memorized your specific bookshelf.
A personalized tutor with perfect memory.
It grounds the AI in truth. Your truth. Finally, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. Privacy. We have been talking about cloud tools this whole time.
And your data is going to their servers.
Right. And for people in finance, law, or health, that is a massive deal breaker. You simply cannot upload client data to the cloud. It's the black terminal fear.
Usually, if you want to run AI locally on your own laptop, you have to be a coder. You are opening the command line and installing complex libraries. It looks like you are hacking the mainframe.
And if you type one thing wrong, nothing works. Enter Pinokio.
Pinokio is a browser for local AI. It makes installing a complex model as easy as installing a video game, just one click.
The use case here was cryptocurrency analysis, wasn't it?
Right. A user analyzing stablecoins and meme coins. They have proprietary trading strategies. They absolutely do not want that data on a cloud server.
So they use Pinokio to install a model locally?
They click install. It runs. And here is the ultimate security test. You can literally physically unplug the internet cable from the wall.
And the model still works?
It still works perfectly. The brain lives on your machine. No data is sent to the cloud.
Is privacy the only benefit?
Privacy and control. You own the brain. Nobody can turn it off.
Total ownership of the digital brain.
It is a massive power move.
Okay, we have covered a lot of ground today. 8 distinct tools. Vibe coding, automation, visuals, videos, stealth notes, smart dictation, grounded research, and local privacy.
It really is a candy store of productivity.
But there is a big warning in the source material. We need to underscore this heavily.
Do not try to install all 8 of these tomorrow.
That sounds like a recipe for a total nervous breakdown.
It is the paradox of productivity. If you try to optimize everything at once, you get absolutely nothing done. You just spend all day tweaking settings.
So what is the actual strategy? How do you apply this?
You pick one, just one tool. Identify the single thing in your week that you hate doing the most.
If you hate meeting notes, you grab Granola.
If you hate typing long emails, you grab Wispr. You spend 30 minutes testing it. See if it actually saves you time. If it does, keep it. If not, drop it.
Small bets. The goal isn't to become a cyborg. It is just to get home a little earlier.
Stop doing the robot work so you can enjoy the rest of your life.
I love that. For our listeners, your mission is simple. Find that one boring task, find the tool that kills it, and take your time back. That's right. But it does leave me with one final thought. If AI eventually does all the boring work, what happens when we realize some of us were hiding behind that busy work just to avoid the hard creative thinking?
Oof. Now that is a terrifying thought for next time.
Thanks for diving in with us.
See you in the next one. OT Row Music.